Hey guys, welcome back to WTF Air Gun Gripes. I'm back again. Well, bring you up to date. What we've got, about 2 weeks ago, I received my MCX back from Sig. They said they would do the warranty work on it, even though that I had taken it apart because it had been leaking before, which I pointed out to them and put little arrows and everything. Go here, look at this, check that. But I think the big thing that I got three letters into them, probably 4 or 5 emails to certain people in their service departments, and I don't get any response at all. In fact, if I ask them a direct question or something like that, it's they send out an automated mail that just says send it, cease service or call this number, and they won't talk to you. I don't know, maybe I got bad breath or something, but anyway, they won't communicate. My big gripe, of course, all of you said the same thing. There's no parts kits. There's nothing available for any of these guns. MCX, MPX, I think even the Vardis or whatever it is, the 22. All of the interior parts are the same that I'm aware of, or very, very similar. I know the MCX and the MPX are identical. And I've kind of got this one laid out here because I just got it back, and after I had it back for just a few days, it started leaking again. And according to the return paperwork that I had, that the mechanic from Sig replaced the seals and the main unit, which air chamber assembly is what he called it. This is the air chamber assembly. According to him, he replaced this. But what's really odd about this, and what was really frustrating to me, was it was leaking again. So I said, this is the 3rd time it's been to them. And I said, no. So I took it apart again. And when I took it apart, what I found out was when I disconnected this from here, it goes in there like that, that what this guy or gal, who I'm not sure who, what they had done is they had reversed the O-rings. There's a larger O-ring inside here, up down in there, you can't see it, and this one here, he reversed them. He put the fat one on this end and the little one in there. And how it even worked, he test fired it a couple of times, said it didn't leak, and it fired, and he sent it back. That's what it said right on the invoice. But when I took it apart, this one up here just popped out like an overinflated inner tube, and there was no way you'd get it back in. So pretty disappointed in the fact that they did nothing really, took any pains or stakes to make this gun right. Now, I don't know if this was replaced, if it had the wrong O-ring in it. That's a possibility. I'll give him a little room on that. But it wasn't fixed, and it was poorly done. You could tell that this one here was the wrong one. Also, something else to point out, I know you guys have had the same failure I did. The firing pin fell out. It's a little short hardened steel pin. Some of you have repaired it by using Loctite, I'm assuming. That's what I used, was Loctite. Anyway, I thought I had it fixed, and maybe you guys are having the same problem still, but it failed again. In fact, when I got it back after I shot it maybe 10 times, the firing pin fell out again. Loctite didn't hold it, so evidently that is not the fix. This is really poorly engineered. These are all cast parts, and it's poor pot, what I call pot aluminum. It's just not any quality at all. But it's poorly engineered that this would just fall out like that. It should be secured in there and pinned in the back, and a number of ways of doing it. So that's really a big fault that Sig Sauer should have taken care of by now. That, like I said before, this gun is, I think it's been out since like 2016, 2017, and the same problem keeps happening, and it just drives me crazy. I saw a guy the other day. I've subscribed to his channel. I like you guys. I love your blogs. I'm signed up to subscribed to most of your channels, but this one guy, he was pretty long and drawn out, and it was not something I really wanted to listen to. But what piqued my interest was that his comment was that somebody that he knows, that's an employee of Sig Sauer here, contacted him and asked him to look into what the problem is on these MCX MPX. God, I tell you, I almost fell off the chair. And you're telling me that one of the largest manufacturers around called a blogger and asked him for his advice on what the problem is with these guns. And I know that Sig Sauer has probably gotten 8,000 or 10,000 complaints on these. And I couldn't believe the answer that this guy gave. He's a nice guy. He's got a good channel. But you know what? Long story short was, he blamed it on COVID. He said, well, we don't have the quality control, and COVID has really screwed things up, blah, blah, blah. And that's where he said, that's where the problem is. We just haven't had good quality control. Well, what happened to all the other years, guy? What happened to 2017, 18, 19, and 20? You better do your homework. I wish you, all of you guys, when you try these guns out and you review these guns, and people write you and blog you back and say, hey, this thing's failing, this is that, you should look back into it. If you're going to be honest to everybody and to yourself, go back and look at some of these guns and find out, is there any truth to this? Because I'm finding all kinds of problems with this gun, and I'm not seeing anybody. They're still selling them, they're still giving the same great reviews, fantastic gun, blah, 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 but nobody ever keeps one long enough to give an honest review on it or goes back on it. So anyway, I'm done griping about that. So the other thing I found out too that failed was this guy right here. There's your little plunger, your seal edge. That's where the air gets in right there. What's happening also is this. You can see that's the seal. It's a nylon seal, and there's a sleeve in there. This is loosening up. In fact, this sleeve on my other one fell out, and I managed to get it back in. And this one did the same thing. This sleeve came out, and once this sleeve comes loose, this gasket is loose and it no longer seals. And I don't know what to tell you about that. And there's no replacement parts, and they haven't come up with anything better that I know of. At least I haven't seen it yet, but I'm hoping they will. There's a lot of issues with this. They just keep sending them back and say, yeah, they're under warranty, and we'll send you another one. It was really funny. This gun here, when I first sent it in, was an MPX, and they sent me back an MCX. So there you go, got an upgrade. Well, it broke. And it's broken 3 times now, or twice. And so I'm just really disappointed in Sig Sauer that they would let this go out of the building with this kind of shabby control. I'm going to say quality control, because it was put together wrong. It leaked right off the bat. And I got my tank set up here, as you can see, to proof check this thing, right? It's running just 800 pounds, but I've checked all the leaks through here. Now, mind you, this gun's been apart 3 or 4 times and back together. But the funny thing is that nothing leaks here. This is all good. Everything, and the only thing that leaks is in here. It's this seal or these little O-rings inside this. That's the only thing I've come up with so far that leaks. But I can't get parts. They haven't offered any parts. They didn't offer to replace the gun, primarily because I'd already taken the gun apart, and I told them so. And they said that, well, we'll fix it this time. But I think the idea was pretty short of them to throw it together, stuff an O-ring in there, and flip it back to me. Pretty bad. As you can tell, I'm a little frustrated with Sig, and if they can't come up with anything better on this, you know. Personally, I'd be really embarrassed if I was Sig Sauer to put my name on this. These, I'm pretty doggone sure, they're made in Japan. They're made of really cheap, poor parts, and even the parts that could be a little bit better, they're not making them better. They're not repairing the problems they have. They have a new one out. I think it's called the Rattler. It's the same gun. It's the same gun. and I don't know, I haven't seen enough or anybody yet that's had any failures yet, so I can't really say maybe they fixed it. But what they're doing with the older ones up until this is only a year old, not even a year old, so this is a fairly new one, and it's failed, you know, a couple times already. So anyway, that's my gripe for this, almost the end of the year, December, and looking forward to Christmas. Hope you guys are all doing well and have a good Christmas. So I'm done griping. I'm gonna just kind of think about this for a while, maybe try something different. Thought I'd let you guys know just what I found out and what I think of Sig Sauer and their service department. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a good Christmas, guys. See ya.